opening up of the spiritual vision, departing from the mundane. Departing from the mundane, that means the influence of Hladini Shakti. Hladini Shakti means Srimati Radharani. Actually, one cannot depart from the curse of the darkness of the illusion of this mundane material world without the mercy of Hladini Shakti, internal potency of the Lord. There is external energy and internal energy. Actually, the so-called external energy that is also emanating from Srimati Radharani. Although Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Raja Vidya Raja Guya. He says, this most confidential knowledge, most secret of all secrets. Yes. And there are some things he doesn't tell in the Bhagavad Gita. Because he says, he speaks of his energies. But defining what are those energies are just of this so-called material existence, the tiny fraction, tiny fraction of a tiny portion of expansion of Srimati Radharani that comes into this so-called material cloud. So-called because actually, ultimately, we know that Bhagavan Sri Krishna, we know that flute-playing Krishna, we know actually he's expanded, all-pervading, we know that. But we should consider that you cannot separate Sri Radha and Krishna. If you cannot separate Sri Radha and Krishna means that Srimati Radharani is also all-pervading. It is not that she simply stays in Vrindavan, simply carrying the milk to the marketplace. She is doing that. But she is as powerful as Krishna. But actually, she is more powerful than Krishna. We can tell people, sometimes people ask, what is the role of women in the Krishna consciousness movement? If you want to be a little facetious, but also tell the truth, you say, oh, they own and control our movement, that's all. Why? Because Srimati Radharani owns everything. You know, you cannot say Hari Bol. Everyone say Hari Bol. Yes, you cannot say Hari Bol without the permission of Srimati Radharani. You can't. You cannot bow your head down in a temple without the mercy of Srimati Radharani. You cannot say Hare Krishna, Hare without the influence of Srimati Radharani. It cannot be done. This is Hladini Shakti. Furthermore, we need to know that everyone sitting here today is owned and operated by Srimati Radharani. Because the so-called material energy, we say, well, actually, but I'm completely covered over by Maya. Yes, what is Maya? It is simply a transformation of her energy. It is true that we are covered over by Maya, but what is it? Simply a transformation of her energy. So we are inside also. We are inside of not just Lord Mahavishnu, the giant form of the Lord. We are inside not just Krishna, the flute player who is also all-pervading and all-powerful. But we are also inside of Hladini Shakti. And for those who have got the blockage in their visions, for them it appears to be material. But in the vision of the Mahabhagavad, the fully self-realized soul, there is no material world. Neither do they see any conditioned souls anywhere. They only see fully liberated souls. That is a vision of the Mahabhagavad, Uttamadhikari. But actually we should consider the vision of such fully self-realized souls is the actual truth. It is not that they are so tranced out in ecstatic love for Krishna that they have gone into something else. Actually, simply they're seeing the truth. So we are all inside of Hladini Shakti. So Krishna consciousness means waking up to our situation, where we actually are. Namely inside of Sri Radha and Krishna. For indeed she is also all-pervading. So everything we are doing is under her control. Of course, we are not fit to approach directly. But it is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that is bringing Hladini Shakti into this material world. he is bringing. I just read a purport the other day where Srila Prabhupada explains the residents of Vrajadam, they can travel anywhere in the creation without any difficulty, no passport required. They can come any place in the creation without having to show any credentials. That is Sladini Shakti. They are not under the material influence, no restrictions of time and space. So, therefore, Srila Prabhupada descended from Goloka Vrindavan into this world, Goloka Vrindavan. From that place he is coming. Ambassador. Actually, Shri Kirti and Bhavananda both were very intimate with Srila Prabhupada. They explained that Srila Prabhupada was in Goloka Vrindavan with Krishna before he came here. Now Prabhupada told directly to them, and I heard it directly from Shri Kirti, this is not hearsay. It may be far out, it is not hearsay. It's not one of those, quote, Prabhupada stories. This is the real stuff. No, I'm serious, it is. Srila Prabhupada was with Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna says to him, I want you to go to the material world. Srila Prabhupada says, but I don't want to go to the material world. Krishna responds, but you must, because I want you to write these books. So he wrote these books, not only on the order of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and who is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur anyways? Manjari. And who is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? He is Manjari. And who is Srila Rupa Goswami? He is Rupa Manjari. Therefore we can say, yes, this movement is owned and operated by the lady sector. But they're in disguise, that's all. They're disguised as sannyasis, disguised as men. What do we care for this external perception? They're in disguise. So many manjaris. Srila Prabhupada explains in the Nectar of Instruction that this movement is who is in charge of this movement? In other words, who's really running things in this Krishna consciousness movement? Srila Prabhupada explains the introduction to the Nectar of Instruction. He explains, Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami is in charge of this movement. That means a Manjari is in charge of this movement. And who are the Manjaris? They are simply the maid servants of Srimati Radharani. Thus, I invite you all to meditate. Generally, we are singing Nikunjayono Ratikeli Siddha, the Samsara prayers, that shloka of the Samsara prayers. In most temples, singing daily. I would like to invite you to consider a deep significance of that one shloka of those prayers, Nikunjayono Ratikeli Siddha. That says the spiritual master is engaged in assisting the gopis. So, we may say, as of disciples of Srila Prabhupada, we may not be necessarily in that category of assisting the gopis directly. But Srila Prabhupada, he's assisting the gopis. Even if one were to say his sarup or his spiritual body was the coward boy, still, sometimes they are making tasteful arrangements for the confidential lila of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Sometimes they're also assisting, even Baladev sometimes. There is transcendental cooperation in the spiritual world. That is all under the internal potency. So, we should try to appreciate that shloka. If Srila Prabhupada is assisting one way or another the gopis, in the opinion of Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur. So, who is a dear servant of Srila Prabhupada, also assisting. By assisting Srila Prabhupada, that assistance is there. So, this is also internal potency. So, those who are assisting Srila Prabhupada, such as Srila Radhanath Swami, also by being a confidential servant of Srila Prabhupada, also become confidential servants of the gopis. Because Mahaprabhu says, like the verse that you quoted earlier, Gopi Pada Kamalam Das Anur Das Anur Das. So actually, das and das and das, that means we are in that circle already by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Das and das and das. We're already in that circle. We're already in that circle of confidence, but we don't know it because there's still this covering and because there's still this dirt in the heart. But we're already under Vladini Shakti, but we don't know it. Of course, we cannot artificially come, that would be Sahajya, we cannot artificially start to think, oh, yeah, so I am in Brajalila. But actually the point is that we are under the internal potency. By this way, all devotional service is taking place. So by assisting the servants of Srila Prabhupada, we also enter deeper and deeper into the internal potency. So this is the beauty, and in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, Raja Vijaya Raja Guya, the most secret of all secrets. That when we take up Krishna consciousness and we chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. This is all under the internal bodhi because Hare is Shrimati Radharani. And so all devotional service is taking place under her jurisdiction. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.